These are soccer balls, but not the type you'll see getting kicked around your local playing field into nets like these. No, these are drone soccer balls, an engaging team e-sport that's gaining popularity across the globe. Recently, I was lucky enough to visit Korea and actually compete in one of these international competitions. Stay with me and I'll show you what it was all about.
It's showtime, people.
So what actually is drone soccer? Well, think of it like a real-life Rocket League or Quidditch from Harry Potter, but instead of cars and brooms, you're piloting big plastic orbs through the air at about 80 kilometers an hour. And the matches take place in a giant netted steel cage, like this one here. A typical match is 5 players a side, with one team assigned red and the other blue. At each end, suspended in the air, is a circular hoop. This is the goal. When a team scores, the hoop flashes red, the crowd goes wild, and then the chaos resets. But here's the catch, you can't just fly any drone through the hoop. Every drone is encased in a protective plastic shell, but only one of those drones on each team is allowed to score. That's the striker. The other 4 drones, well, their entire job is to block, ram and viciously defend their own hoop. With 10 high-powered drones flying around at once, the arena sounds like a swarm of angry hornets. It is deafeningly loud. Because you can barely hear yourself think, communication between team members is absolutely critical. You aren't just piloting your own drone, you are constantly yelling over the noise, coordinating attacks, and calling out defensive blocks in real time.
Okay, tell me when you're going for goal. Yeah, oh, my, so close. Okay, I'm going to try and knock from underneath. Yeah, I go.
Once the match kicks off, it's an absolute sprint. A standard game is split into 3 sets, each lasting 3 minutes. Time to outscore, outmaneuver and physically overpower the other team before the buzzer sounds. Because these drones are constantly smashing into each other at high speeds, they don't just bounce, they break. A lot. Which brings us to the pit lane. Between those frantic 3-minute sets, the pit lane turns into pure chaos. Teams have just a few minutes to pull off miracle repairs. You're frantically swapping out cracked outer shells, taping things together, and changing shattered propellers while the clock is still ticking. And when you have a whole team burning through batteries every 3 minutes, a standard charger just won't cut it. This Ovonic X4 lets me blast 4 drone packs back to 100% simultaneously at up to 15 amps. Now, depending on where you travel in the world, you'll encounter 2 major governing bodies pushing this sport forward, FIDA and the FAI. Think of them like different leagues with their own subtle flavours. But across both organisations, the gear is standardised into 2 main divisions, the nimble 20cm or the massive 40cm ball classes. And under those protective plastic shells, these are actually just standard racing drones, though you are flying entirely line of sight. But no matter which banner you fly under, the objective remains exactly the same. Survive the swarm and get your striker through that hoop. But despite broken parts, the deafening noise and the intense stress of the pit lane, the absolute best part of drone soccer isn't the hardware, it's the community. Competing in Korea showed me just how massive and welcoming this community actually is. One minute you're violently smashing into another team's drones in the arena, and the next minute you're laughing in the pits, trading team jerseys and just helping each other out.
That was rad. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. That was sick. That was sick. That was sick. Good stuff, mate. Good stuff. Drone soccer is growing fast, combining tech with genuine team sport adrenaline. If you've ever felt yourself wanting to get into drones, or perhaps you just miss the competitive nature of team sports, this might be the community for you. Let me know in the comments if you think you could cut it as a striker. And massive thanks to everybody in Korea that made this trip unforgettable. Hit that subscribe button and I'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yes.
They're safe. See? No damage.